My friends, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another tropical update, my friends. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday night. So, yes, the rumor is true. Unfortunately, obviously, we just got done with Helene, which was a pretty bad storm. We do have another one that we're watching. Actually, another couple that we're watching. There's even another one out here in the main development region, the MDR. But anyways, yeah, we do have another one. We'll get into that here in a moment. But first of all, let's go and give a warm welcome to everybody here. What's up, everybody? What's up, Braven? What's up? Let's see, Slups. Hope you're doing good. We have Mark. We have Scottish. We have, let's see here, Black Label, Divinely. We have Yol, or Lauderdale. Let's see here. We have Faith. Hope you guys are doing good. My goodness, I can't even speak this evening. What's up, guys? We do got Joyce. Yeah, we do got Joyce. That's already another tropical storm here. Let's just go ahead and hop over to the Hurricane Center real quickly. So, we have a couple of storms. Obviously, we have Helene, which Helene's already, mostly over with. I mean, we're kind of just dealing with the remains of, Helene. Currently a post-tropical cyclone. Sustained winds of around 35, likely gusting a little bit higher out there, and the pressure's down to 984 millibars. So yeah, it's kind of just sitting there over Kentucky right there. Now we do have Hurricane Isaac here. Actually, he's picking up some strength here. About 10 mile an hour stronger since earlier. We were talking 85 sustained. This storm's just going to kind of go up towards the Arctic, not really becoming anything concerning for anywhere. Then we have Joyce. Joyce is going to become a tropical storm. It already is a tropical storm. It's going to remain a tropical storm for a couple of days here before kind of turning to the north into like the central Atlantic and, kind of just fading out. So Joyce is not going to be a problem. However, like I said, we got another area here. We're going to start off with Disturbance 1. It kind of gets cut off here. But this has an overall 40% chance of development out there. Like I said, this one's out here kind of towards the MDR, the main development region. Over the next 48 hours, it has a 10% chance of formation, so it's unlikely to do anything in the next couple of days. But we definitely need to, still keep an eye out there for it. I mean, right now it's located just southwest of the Cabo Verde as just an area of low pressure. It will roll into this region here where it does have a chance of, kind of developing out there, kind of where Joyce is at, as it kind of rolls its way here to the west. Then, the one that we really need to watch is this guy. This is Disturbance 2. Now, this one, like I mentioned, we have an overall, relatively low percentage of development as of now. I do believe that will increase with time because there has been some, support from the models and stuff like that for the last while of maybe another tropical cyclone heading towards somewhere towards the Gulf. We don't know. I'm just going to go and say it straight out. We do not know where this thing's going to go. But there is talks of, a system developing either in the Caribbean or the Gulf, heading in that direction anyways. Let's see here. What's up, Dixie? Good morning. Or sorry, good evening, dude. I'm sorry. I am out of it, y'all. The last couple days worth of coverage and stuff like that just kind of worn me down. I'm just, it's been a long day. But anyways, well, good evening to you. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. The name is Helene. I thought it was Hunter or something. No, it was Helene. What's up, Catloaf? We're doing good. Hope nothing comes. St. Petersburg, Florida. Last night's surge came around 1 a.m. Just took over everything. Never seen anything like it. Don't wish that experience on anyone. It was a bad storm. It was definitely a pretty bad storm out there. I hope everything's going good for you. Let's see. What's up, Tori? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Deb? What's up, storm coverage? Let's see. What's up, Jared? Hope you guys are doing good. But yeah, so like I mentioned, it's another area we need to watch. I mean, am I surprised? Not really. I mean, we are still in height of hurricane season, and we're not done yet. We're not really near done with hurricane season yet. But all right, let's go ahead and hop over to the models. You know where this is going. Y'all know exactly where this is going. So first of all, here's the latest model run. We got the 18 Zulu GFS. You can see the remains of what's left of Helene up here. Kind of just once again, this is a post-tropical cyclone. It's no longer a tropical system. It's just a strong low pressure system right at this point. So we work our way down in time, and this thing's just going to kind of stall over Kentucky. Just kind of die out. It's going to really kind of halt. So we're not really expecting a whole lot more, anything super crazy out of Helene. Now, what's already kind of happened, most of the impacts have already kind of happened with Helene. In terms of heavy impacts in Florida and Georgia, obviously, the Carolinas, and, out there towards western North Carolina, we got a lot of flooding out there because of the storm here. It is seriously really bad out there. We were talking well over a foot of rainfall falling up into those mountain ranges there, which, all that's got to go somewhere, in which it actually it led down into the creeks, the streams, the rivers, and it's got to go somewhere. So, in those low-lying areas, it really piles up. So they've been dealing with a lot of problems out there. But anyway, so let's hop over here to the Western Atlantic here. So here's the latest GFS. So the GFS run, now remember, take this with a grain of salt because, it still is a little bit too early to tell for sure. But this is the 18 Zulu. Actually, you can kind of tell here throughout the next, the next couple of days, we could get an area of low pressure coming off of kind of like northern South America, and it kind of rolls into the Western Caribbean here. We work our way down here in time, and you can kind of see it slowly kind of, holds together. Doesn't really strengthen a whole lot according to this run, but then it starts picking up strength. Really, wow, that's a tiny little guy. Look at that. That's just a itty bitty little thing. But according to the GFS here, it tracks its way into the Gulf here, maybe doing something. Now, like I mentioned, this model shows it going to Louisiana, but please don't take that too serious because this is just really early guidance. But my goodness, look how tiny that little thing is. I'm sorry, I'm just admiring its little size compared to like the state of Florida. Obviously, Helene was massive. Helene was a really big storm. You got the little guy here. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, remember that's just one model run. Just one idea there. We'll hop to the previous run before that, the 12 Zulu from earlier this afternoon. And whenever it comes to it, you can actually see that there's just a little bit of difference. It still has it ending up towards Louisiana, but it really doesn't have it developed until really we roll into like the Central Gulf. So there's obviously a lot of difference here between the two latest GFS runs. Now, remember, this is just one model. You can never trust just one model, so we'll dive into more guidance here in a minute. But, like I mentioned there, still is very much unknown. So at the moment, what we know is that, there could be some type of low that kind of goes into the Western Caribbean, either, slowly developing or hardly developing at all. And then it works its way towards the Gulf. Now, remember, don't take that line I just drew seriously. It could literally do anything at this point. We still are a little far down in time. Now, as of right now, like the time frame, the models kind of show this thing maybe kicking up around October 1st is kind of when it pops up here. towards like the kind of western, southwestern Caribbean. And then, like I said, rolls its way up here to the north and, kind of gets maybe near the Gulf around the 3rd. Yeah, remember, this is still really early guidance. So timing, not only, what we can expect out of it, but also timing and stuff like that is very much, hard to tell. But anyways, so, that's that. The previous run before that, the 06 Zulu, kind of showed it developing there for the first in the Western Caribbean, tracking into the Gulf. And then this one actually had does something even completely different. Goes to the western side of the Gulf towards like Mexico. So you see that the models are still all over the place, but what we can get from this is that it's been consistent for some type of tropical system happening. You guys can see it between the last 3 model runs of GFS. It shows that same system, but it shows it in different areas. So like I mentioned, it's just a little too early to tell, exactly where this thing's going to end up. Consider this like your first update of this potential system here. We're going to call it a potential system. It's still not, fully 100%, but it is a growing concern. And the models have been, kind of picking up on it for, a couple of days from what I've seen. Euro, you guys are probably wondering what European. We have the 12 Zulu from earlier. The Euro shows, some type of low working its way into the Gulf here for right around the 3rd. It really doesn't have it developing into a whole lot of anything according to Euro. But once again, this is early guidance. This is early guidance. Okay, so both of the models do show a low pressure system rolling into the Gulf there, which if other conditions are right, it could turn into some form of tropical system. We already do have ourselves a lot of really warm ocean water out there, but it really at that point just comes down to do we have the moisture in the atmosphere? Is there no wind shear? It really just kind of comes down to those localized conditions, which can be a little tricky forecasting this far out. And since there's just still a lot of uncertainty and stuff like that, then we really can't be for sure on the system. But what we do know is that the 2 main models, like I said, the GFS we looked at previously and the Euro, which we're looking at now, they both do suggest a trough, an area of low pressure to actually kind of work its way from the Caribbean into the Gulf. Some point here for the first couple of days of October, which the season, or sorry, the month is almost over here. So we're getting a little closer, but we'll definitely be watching this for the next little bit. Let's pull up another model. Let's look at the CMC, which is the Canadian model here. So according to the CMC, this is the 12 Zulu, and you can see the CMC does actually pick up on that system. That kind of oddly takes a very similar track as Helene just did, maybe a little more to the west for land. Like I said, take these models with a grain of salt, okay? Once again, please do know that, okay? This is certainly not engraved. I mean, this is still pretty far down in time, but CMC does have it picking up, that low developing there for right around October 1st. The other models did support that. As well, kind of goes through the Caribbean here throughout the 2nd and 3rd, maybe pulling in towards the Gulf for the 4th. So the first couple of days of October is kind of when that system could start to maybe do something. But yeah, latest CMC model does suggest it maybe turning into something as we roll into the Gulf here. But like I said, this is for October 3rd and 4th. Once we pull into the Gulf here, that's still several days away. That's still like a good week or so away at that point. So, like I mentioned, take this very lightly. This track is not nearly anywhere, in stone yet. What we can take from what we just saw with the models is the fact that, okay, the models, they do suggest a low pressure system forming somewhere along the Western Caribbean and tracking northwest somewhere into the Gulf. That's what all the models do suggest. But of course, where it ultimately ends up, how strong it is, how big it is very, very much still unknown. There is it's still completely blurry. So what we can learn, like I said, is that we know that there is going to be a low pressure system going through the Gulf, through the Caribbean into the Gulf, sometime for the beginning of next month, early, like the first week of well, hold on, the first couple of days of next month. So that's what we need to watch out for. So just keep that in mind. Just know that that's a possibility. So that was the CMC model. Icon, we have the 12 Zulu icon here, which the icon does have that low pressure, going out there towards the Gulf, but, once again, in a completely different area here, than what, the last model suggested. So, once again, the size, the track, the strength and everything like that is just still very much unknown. Very, very much unknown. Let's see here. Chris, man, coming with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. Let's see. So if he becomes a hurricane, what will be the name? Oh, let me pull up the old list here. Let's see here. 2025, or sorry, we're not quite there yet. Let's see here. I don't have them memorized, but I can look for you. So we did just have Joyce form. Joyce was the last one we just had develop. Let's see here. Why is there a lot of 2020 popping up here? Here we go. Okay, so we had Joyce. This one would be, well, this one might either be Kirk or Leslie. Because remember, we actually have another system that we are looking for. If we hop back over here to the Hurricane Center, we can actually see here that we do have another system that might actually develop. If it develops, it might develop before this one. So, it's either going to be, like I mentioned, it's either going to be Kirk or Leslie. It's either going to be one of those two. So yeah, that'll be the next one. So for the rest of the season, here's the rest of the names. We have Kirk, Leslie, Milton, Natalie, I think it is, Oscar, Patty, Raphael, Sarah, Tony, Valerie, and William. Those are the next names. Then after that, instead of going to the Greek alphabet, they're going to start restarting. So for example, if we go through all of those, which we'll see, if we end up going through all of those names, it will start with the 2025 season. So we'll go to the first name of the 25 season, whatever name that is, and then we'll go ahead and start from scratch. So I don't think they're doing the Greek alphabet anymore. The names are terrible. I mean, yeah. Let's see here. But anyways, is Helene likely going to be retired? Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, Helene it did a lot of damage. It really, really tore up the Tampa Bay. You guys got absolutely hammered yesterday. I mean, it was bad, man. It was real bad. I definitely do think Helene will be retired. But anyways, once again, Chris, thank you, man, for the 10. I really appreciate that, dude. It means a lot to me. Yeah, so that's the next names. Let's see, the Greek alphabet was a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, you got to think. So if you had like Zeta, for example, if you had a hurricane named Zeta and it turned out to be like a storm of the century, if they had to recycle the Greek alphabet, there would be another Zeta, which what would happen if that one was even a big one? So it's like, they would get confused. So that's why they just started recycling, into the next season. So after all these names are done, then we'll hop into the next season's names. So that's how that's gonna go. Let's see here, Mark, dude, coming in with a $5 super chat, man. Thank you so much, dude. Mark, that's greatly appreciated, bro. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Chris and Mark, you guys are awesome. Thank you for your support, guys. Seriously, means a bunch to me. So anyways, hopping over here to more of the other models. We got the EPS. We're going to look at the ensembles. So what these are basically is, so here is Helene that happened. Helene happened already. But, these are a model with a bunch of what we call members. And these members are like little model runs, basically. So, essentially the EPS here, the 18 Zulu, actually we should probably hop down to 12 Zulu because it didn't go as far. You can kind of see all these little individual red numbers. So that's actually showing the pressure per those members, per member. So as you can see, as we approach our way like in towards like the second or the third, there'll be a couple of those members either there towards the Western Gulf here or towards like the Western Caribbean. So, that is, very much scattered, as you can tell at this point. But as we approach our way around like October 5th, you can see that there's still a good amount of, those members out there towards the Gulf. But you can see that they're obviously spread out. Some of them towards the Eastern Gulf and some of them towards the Western Gulf. There's so much spacing that's going on there. So, that's the track, the strength is just completely unknown. Overall, and we got some activity out here. A lot of other members out there. That's that other system I think that we're watching, which we'll keep an eye out there for that one there too. But just keep that in mind. So that's EPS. Then we have the GEFS. Some more members. You can see that little group there. Members as we pop our way into right around October 2nd. You can see that some of those members are out there towards like the Western Caribbean. They track their way into the Gulf here. You have one of those members hitting Florida. You have another one going up there towards like Louisiana overall, and then you can kind of see some of those kind of maybe lasted a little bit longer. Then of course we got the GEPS, which you can see the GEPS wants another Helene, unfortunately. But like I mentioned, that's not final. That is not final at all. We do not know where this thing's going to go. We don't know how strong it's going to be. We don't know what it's going to do, but what we do know is that there is a lot of talk from the models that, hey, there might be another system developing some way here for the early part of October, first couple days of October, going through the Caribbean, the Western Caribbean, and then tracking its way into the Gulf, which, if you're along the Gulf Coast, it's a system to monitor. There's no reason to worry about it or, panic over this right now. So I just want to get the word out there, just let you know, hey, there might be another one heading up here in the next week or so. Once again, this is still very, very, very early guidance. This is still very early talk, but, we're going to be continually giving you guys updates on this system. Black Label says, Andrew, you did an amazing job with Hurricane Helene. You were the only one of the first weather guys predicting that it could be potential Cat 4. The models were really good in that hurricane. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that, Black Label. Let's see. I remember. I thought I saw something yesterday. You were asking about North Carolina. What are you talking about? I literally have no idea what you're saying. Are you talking to Jared? Or hold on. Sorry, I'm just losing my mind. You are Jared. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just. It's been a long day, dude. My brain is just blank. It's been a long couple days, dude. Let's see. Where do I think it's going? Like I said, we don't really know. The models aren't really fixed on where the thing could end up. It will, like I mentioned, it's gonna probably pick up somewhere along the Western Caribbean. For anywhere from the 1st to the 3rd, and then track its way into the Gulf, right around the 4th, the 5th, or somewhere around that. So, once again, what we can say is that we do not know how strong this thing's going to be, what size it's going to be, how strong, what size, or where it's going. We cannot tell you that right now because we just simply don't know. Scott, man, thank you so much, dude, for the $10 donation. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you, Scott. That is greatly appreciated. These guys, seriously, don't have to do that, but I appreciate that, Scott. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, bottom line, just know models are talking about it. It's not just one model. It's like I said, the GFS, Euro, Icon, CMC, all of those main models are talking about it. And now we have the GEPS, the GEFS, the EPS. A lot of those models are showing multiple members working their way up there towards the Gulf and stuff like that. Starting here in the Western Caribbean, then kind of gradually going back up. We'll hop back over here to CMC. So once again, take this with a grain of salt here. Once again, this is still very much early. The CMC shows that system kind of developing here for right around the turn of the month here. Right around October 1st. Starts to develop out there towards like the South Caribbean. You can kind of see there. And then, of course, pulls its way up here to the west, out there towards like the Western Caribbean, and then of course kind of hops its way up there towards the the Gulf, and then it kind of just goes on from there. Once again, take that with a grain of salt. That is likely not going to be the track, the final. Definitely not going to be the final track. We're still several days away from all of that. Then we have the GFS here, which, the GFS also kind of shows it maybe, it's a very, very small storm according to the latest GFS, but it has it kind of pulling up into the Gulf here around the 3rd to the 4th, the 5th, starting off as right around the 1st or 2nd. So it seems like the models are kind of getting an idea overall with that. Let's see here. Scott, man, thank you so much, dude. Welcome to Category 1 Club. Appreciate that, man. You are greatly appreciated, Scott. Seriously, thank you, dude, for your support. That is greatly appreciated. But yeah, just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a little update. Once again, there's no reason to panic, no reason to freak out over this. There's still a lot of things we don't know. The overall chance of this thing's still not quite known. But it does seem that the models are agreeing on a system, rolling its way into the Gulf at some point for the beginning of next month. So, just keep that in mind. We'll continue to give you guys updates on this system here and, further systems throughout the year. But, but that's that. But, alrighty. Let's see, are people hyping this up already? No, and it shouldn't be. It's just something that I want to bring to the table just so you guys can watch it because it's, still early talk and stuff like that. But, nothing is really fully known about the system as of now. But anyways, alrighty, y'all. Well, I just kind of wanted to hop on here for a little bit. There's not really a whole lot more information that I can really tell you other than what we kind of showed you there with everything. If you want to go ahead and go back, go ahead and rewind the live stream and stuff like that. But I think we're gonna go ahead and just call it a night, man. I need to get some sleep. I'm whooped. These last couple of days have really put a toll on me here. Covering the storm, being in the storm and stuff like that, dude. It's just been a long day. Let's see here. In my opinion, what's the best guess it'll do? Like I said, I can't really make an assumption yet. But what we can say is that the system here. Let's see here. So the system here would work its way out there towards the Western and Caribbean here for the the first couple days of October. Then of course tracking its way into the Gulf for kind of around the 4th, maybe the 5th or 6th. And then, of course, what goes on from thereafter is just heavily unknown. Some of the models suggest it being a very small storm. Some models suggest it being, a normal-sized storm. Some of the models suggest the storm going to the west. Some of them suggest it going to the east. Some of them suggest it being a depression, while others suggest it being a hurricane. So it's like, we don't know, man. We really can't tell. There's really not much more we can really tell you guys about that. But what we can note is the fact that all the models are on board with something happening and something that's been, trending for a little bit now. To the point where it's worth mentioning, absolutely. And even the fact that the Hurricane Center did put that overall disturbance out there. As of now, 30% chance, but that'll probably increase with time. Okay? Alrighty, everybody. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to get some sleep. Once again, everybody, thank you for joining. Sorry for the quick little update. Just wanted to go ahead and get that out there. We'll do more updates. I'll let you guys know what's going on with it tomorrow. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. Greatly appreciate it. Once again, Chris, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Mark, you as well, and Scott for both the donation and the Category 1 support. I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys, seriously, for the donations. It means a lot to me. Helps us stay afloat, man. I tell you, I couldn't do it without you guys. So seriously, thank you for that, as that'll help good towards our programs and, help keeping good old Andrew up and alive. That's definitely a good thing. But all right, guys, once again, thank you for joining. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow at some point. Not sure what time we're going to go live, but I do plan on doing a more in-depth live stream tomorrow. Just need to get some sleep and stuff like that. But you guys as well. Have a great night. Like I said, have a great weekend ahead of you guys. Once again, if you guys could, subscribe, leave a like, and most importantly, share this with your friends, family, anybody you know. It would be greatly appreciated just to help get that word out there. But all right, everybody, thanks for joining, and we'll see ya in the next one. Catch y'all later on.